Hi there, I'm Mike and I'm the All Hallows Geek, and welcome to This Week in Eek, my weekly series where I put a little eek in your week by recapping some of the top stories in Halloween and horror news from the last week. Alright, so if you've been following along on social media this week, you'll know that this week was Funko's Halfway to Halloween product reveal event, Funkoween. And over the course of 3 days, Funko unveiled over 190 new items, and while I'd love to cover all of that here, we'd probably be here all day. So in an effort to save time and to spare folks who don't collect toys, this year I'll again be posting a This Week in Eek Funkoween special on Saturday. The special will give a full recap of all the Halloween and horror goodness unveiled by Funko over the last few days, along with details on when and where you'll be able to get some of the new products. With that said, let's get into it. In 2020, we learned that Gremlins was getting an animated prequel series at HBO Max. Since then, we've got a glimpse of Gizmo courtesy of a 2022 HBO Max content sizzle reel, but not much more. That is until this week when HBO Max gave us our first look at the family at the heart of this all-new Gremlins story and the actors who voiced them. Gremlins, Secrets of the Mogwai revolves around the Wing family, a close-knit family whose story reveals the mystery of how 10-year-old Sam Wing, future shop owner Mr. Wing in the 1984 Gremlins movie, met the young Mogwai called Gizmo. Ming-Na Wen voices Sam's mother, Fong Wing, a doctor of Chinese medicine. She's resourceful, slyly funny, and fiercely protective of her family, even her frequently troublesome father. James Hong voices Grandpa, a free spirit and self-proclaimed expert in Chinese myth and magic. Grandpa is the elder of the Wing family. He claims to have traveled the world on grand adventures, but nobody believes him, until now. He alone knows the true power and secrets of the Mogwai and the importance of protecting them. B.D. Wong voices Sam's father, Han Wing, the family's rock. He's never believed his father-in-law's tales of magic and adventure, but when he and Fong become separated from Sam, he realizes the world is stranger than he thought and that he'll need to become braver to reunite his family. Isaac Wang will voice Sam, a naive 10-year-old boy who lives with his family in the tiny apartment behind their struggling medicine shop. Sheltered and cautious, Sam will be thrown into the adventure of a lifetime when he promises his grandpa he'll get Gizmo home. Steeped in China's rich culture and mythology, Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai takes viewers back to 1920s Shanghai, where the Wing family first discover the mysterious Mogwai and follow Sam and a street thief named Elle on their journey through the Chinese countryside to return Gizmo to his home. Along the way, they'll encounter and sometimes battle colorful monsters and spirits from Chinese folklore, all while being pursued by a power-hungry industrialist and his growing army of evil gremlins. Gremlins Secrets of the Mogwai will debut this year on HBO Max and will be available later as part of Acme Night on Cartoon Network. And with the premiere of Stranger Things 4 now just a week away, there seem to be no signs of merchandising slowing down. This week we learned that Netflix is releasing its first ever official coloring book with the release of Stranger Things, the official coloring book. The all-ages coloring book from Netflix and Penguin Random House will feature 76 original illustrations that include some of your favorite characters and scenes from the Netflix series, such as Creel House, Steve and Robin serving up ice cream at Scoops Ahoy, or the terrifying Demogorgon in full attack mode. The new coloring book will be released on June 28th, but it's currently available for pre-order from Amazon. I'll be sure to drop a link down in the description so you can pre-order yours and help out All Hallows Geek at the same time. And this week, Discovery Plus and Travel Channel unveiled a full slate of new series, specials, and seasons of popular paranormal programming for the rest of 2022. Highlights from the announcement include the returning favorites like Ghost Adventures with Zach Baggins and Eli Roth Presents A Ghost Ruined My Life, as well as all new series such as Conjuring Kesha, starring global pop superstar Kesha, and Ghosts of Devil's Perch, a new series exploring the supernatural uprising plaguing the historic mining town of Butte, Montana. The network also announced the return of Ghostober, now in its 5th year, which will feature a full month of programming including the Ghost Adventures Halloween special. Plenty more was announced, including new specials and more returning favorites. You can check out the full 2022-2023 lineup now over in my full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com. And it's been over a decade since the Peaches Christ film All About Evil, starring Natasha Lyonne, has been seen by audiences. After its premiere at the San Francisco International Film Festival and a limited theatrical run in 2010, the film vanished from the public eye. But thanks to Severin Films and Shudder, that's about to change. Next month, the film is being resurrected with a special edition Blu-ray release from Severin and a North America streaming release on Shudder. In All About Evil, Leon plays a mousy librarian who takes over her late father's struggling movie theater, but when a series of grisly murders is caught on camera, it transforms her into the new queen of indie splatter cinema. The Blu-ray of All About Evil will feature a brand new HD restoration of the feature, along with newly produced and archival bonus features for fans to devour. The Blu-ray will be released on June 10th ahead of the film's premiere on Shudder on June 13th. To celebrate the re-release of the film, Peaches Christ will present the movie at Peaches Christ 4D screenings along the West Coast, including the Los Feliz 3 in Los Angeles on June 9th, and the Victoria Theater in San Francisco, where the film was shot, on June 11th. Fans in the LA area can also attend a Blu-ray signing event at Dark Delicacies in Burbank on June 12th with Peaches Christ and members of the cast. And new details emerged this week from Netflix around its upcoming Geek Week event. The virtual event celebrating all things genre entertainment at Netflix will take place June 6th through 10th, and this week Netflix dropped a trailer for the event along with the event schedule and details around this year's hosts. This year, the Netflix event will be packed with cast reveals, talent appearances, trailer premieres, sneak peeks, surprise announcements, and more from over 60 Netflix projects. Titles that fans can expect content from include Stranger Things, The Sandman, The Umbrella Academy, Manifest, The Gray Man, Alice in Borderlands, Day Shift, Resident Evil, The Sea Beast, and for the first time ever, they'll be sharing exclusive Netflix games. Each day of Geek Week will be dedicated to a different theme. June 6th will be all about series, June 7th film, June 8th animation, June 9th Stranger Things, yeah, it gets its own day, and June 10th games. Last year's event was hosted by Raul Coley and Mari Takahashi, but this year Netflix seems to be mixing it up and has announced a diverse lineup of hosts made up of celebrities and online personalities. Among the notable hosts in the lineup are Ella Purnell from Army of Darkness, Queen of the Geeks Felicia Day, author B. Dave Walters, and video game guru Jeff Keighley. For the full lineup of hosts and to catch the Geek Week trailer, which is narrated by Stranger Things' David Harbour, head over to my full coverage over on allhollowsgeek.com. And it's been a few months since folks on the East Coast got their first details around Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort. This week, we here on the West Coast finally got an announcement out of Universal Studios Hollywood around a new maze for 2022. Universal Monsters: Legends Collide. The maze will be the first ever to bring together the Wolfman, Dracula, and the Mummy in a single Horror Nights maze. But don't worry, if you're watching on the East Coast, Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort is also getting the maze. The bi-coastal experience will transport guests to the 19th century with the trio of monsters seeking one thing: the Amulet of Ra. The Wolfman believes this ancient relic contains the power to finally lift his dreaded curse, while Dracula and the Mummy have nefarious plans to use it to bring humankind to its knees. With the full moon on the rise and a race against time, guests find themselves entangled in a bloodthirsty battle between the terrifying titans, and only one will survive. Adding to the experience, guitarist Slash will again collaborate with Universal Studios Hollywood to create an original score for the haunted house. Halloween Horror Nights begins on Friday, September 2nd in Orlando and Thursday, September 8th in Hollywood. Tickets and vacation packages are now on sale for Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort, and tickets for Universal Studios Hollywood will be available soon. And Universal Studios Hollywood isn't the only West Coast theme park that made 2022 Halloween announcements over the last week. Last Friday, SeaWorld San Diego announced the return of its separate ticketed nighttime Halloween event, Howl-o-Scream. The news coincided with a special Friday the 13th ticket promotion, which offered a whopping 55% savings on the purchase of 2 or more tickets. Unfortunately, the promotion was for 24 hours only, but there are sure to be more ahead of this year's event, so be sure to visit howl-o-scream.com/ca for more details. Alright, wrapping up the week, let's talk trailers. I featured 5 trailers over on All Hallows Geek this week. First, if you missed it late last week, Netflix released a second teaser for its live-action Resident Evil series. While the first teaser focused on the film's main protagonist, Jade Wesker, the second teaser focused more on the T-Virus's origins and the horrors it creates. Netflix also released the first official trailer for its new vampire series, First Kill. Based on the short story by V.E. Schwab, First Kill follows teenage vampire Juliet, who must make her first kill so she can take her place among a powerful vampire family. She sets her sights on a new girl in town named Calliope, but much to Juliet's surprise, Calliope is a vampire hunter from a family of celebrated slayers. Both find that the other won't be so easy to kill and unfortunately are way too easy to fall for. Admittedly, this isn't going to be for everyone, but if you have teens who are into vampire teen dramas, this one might be worth checking out. And earlier in this week's show, I mentioned the resurrection of Peaches Christ's long-lost cult film All About Evil. If you missed it, I uploaded the film's trailer here on the All Hallows Geek YouTube channel earlier in the week. This looks like a fun flick, so if you're wondering what the film is all about, I'll throw a link to the trailer up here, and you can check it out. And this week, Shudder announced it had acquired the streaming rights to the film Moloch, which was an official selection of the Fantasia International Film Festival. With the announcement, they released the film's trailer. And Moloch is a folk horror film from Dutch director Nico van den Brink that tells the story of a woman who lives at the edge of a peat bog in the north of the Netherlands. And when she and her family are attacked by a random stranger one night, she sets out to find an explanation. But the more she digs, the more she becomes convinced that she is being hunted by something ancient. Moloch will premiere on Shudder on Thursday, July 21st. And finally, if you're a fan of cartoons in the vein of Gravity Falls, Costume Quest, The Owl House, and the like, you're in for a treat with the new Netflix series Dead End Paranormal Park. Netflix released the trailer for the new series, which is based on the Dead India graphic novels, and this looks like it's going to be a fun one, with talking dogs, butt sniffing, and sardonic demons named Courtney. What's not to love? You can check out all of this week's trailers now over on allhallowsgeek.com. Alright, that's it for this week. As always, if you enjoyed this week's video, give it a like, leave me a comment, or better yet, subscribe to make sure you always get your weekly dose of Geek. For more information on any of this week's top stories, you'll find links to the full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com down in the description below. Until next time, keep it creepy.